Hey friends, happy Thursday. It's time for another live video to share with you some of the things that have been coming up in some recent conversations with clients. I want to give you sort of the inside scoop, the lesson, the message here, okay? So I'm going to share this over into a group here. And we're going to get started. And the reason I want to talk about this, it's always so interesting, is that I have these conversations with clients, and then the message that I give to them, the tip that I give to them, tends to be replicated, or the message comes up again and again and again. So this is how I know it's time to share it. Now, let's talk about this. The message of this video, right, is basically your answer to feeling stuck when you're in a space of indecision, when you don't know which way to go, when you are trying to make the right step, or you don't know what is the first thing you need to do to get started on something, right? And some of the things that tend to happen when we go through this space is we get stuck up here, right? We get stuck in our head, we get stuck on, is this the right step? Is this the next step? Is this the thing I need to do to get going? And what's so interesting is the chapter of my book that I'm writing right now is a little bit about this, right? It's about how often we get stuck in analysis paralysis. We're trying to do the right thing. We're trying to not make a mistake. We want to make sure that we are doing all the right things or getting started the right way. Like, we have all of this. I sort of see it as like one of those comic strip bubbles above our heads, and it's just constant static, right? We're jumping around from thought to thought, idea to idea, really trying to find the right thing to move us forward. And the problem is that we often think that we're doing something in that space. Like, we're trying to make sure that this idea is going to be the idea, right? We're trying to make sure that this next step is the right step. We're trying to make sure that this thing is a sure thing. And all the while, we're staying stuck. The entire time that we're analyzing and, hemming and hawing and riding the seesaw back and forth between, is this the right thing? Is that the right thing? What should I do? What's the right thing to do? We do nothing. And we stay exactly where we are. And that tends to be the place that a lot of people are when they come to me and say, I've done everything. I've tried everything. I've, been trying to figure this out on my own, and I just can't do it, right? Most people come to me and want to work with me because they feel stuck. They can't figure out how to move forward when it comes to changing their career, or they want to be more open for relationships, or they want more in life. And whatever they've been doing just hasn't worked. And so they're trying to find another way, right? They're trying to get support. So if that is you, and listen, let's be honest, we all have moments where we get stuck, right? Like, we're human, so we get stuck in places. We constantly are getting stuck up here because we're living our lives in a very thinking, logically oriented, critical thinking, problem solving, solution finding space. And while we're analyzing and trying to figure out, we're not making any progress to actually move forward. Okay? So the answer to that, are you ready? It's pretty simple. Probably more simple than you want it to be, right? The answer to feeling stuck, or one of the answers to being stuck, the indecision and not knowing how to begin, is to do something, anything, right? To take action. And it doesn't have to be the perfect action. It doesn't have to be a surefire, fail-proof action. It doesn't have to be this massive action. It can be a tiny step. It can be a phone call. It can be researching on the internet. It can be going and picking up a book at the library, right? It can be having an interview with someone who does something that you want to do. It can be sitting down at your computer with a blank piece of paper or with a blank open document and just writing. It can be any of those things. But the key is to get out of this space out of the analyzing, out of the thinking, is this the right thing? Am I going to do the right thing? Am I going to make a mistake? And instead, doing something. Okay? When we are confused, when we are stuck in analysis paralysis and we're weighing the pros and the cons and we're making that list and we're trying to find the right way, what ends up happening, like I said, is that you stay stuck. You don't move forward. But the magic that happens when you do something, friends, is incredible. When you do something, when you take action, life gets to meet you. And what I mean by that is you've sort of sent a sign, a message to the universe, to God, to source, whatever you want to call it, that you are now moving forward and you are intentional about finding that next step, figuring out whatever it is that you're trying to figure out. You create an energy and momentum that now life can join you. Life can't join you if you're sitting on your couch trying to figure stuff out. Inspiration can't hit you and you can't connect with the right people and see the right signs and read the right book and hear the right message or pick up the right podcast, right? If you're just thinking about it. So one of my biggest messages and one of my biggest coaching sort of principles is do something. Not do the perfect thing, not do all the things, but do something. So there are 3 components to what I teach. There's mindset, there's the energetic piece, and there's the action piece. And generally speaking, most people that I encounter, most people that I work with, don't have all 3 of those. Most people have some of the mindset stuff, maybe. Most people are all action oriented, but they're not really sure about the energy. Or some people don't have any of them, right? Like they kind of know what they want, but they're not doing a lot in their mindset. They don't know a lot about the energy piece, and they're definitely not taking action because they are afraid that it's going to be the wrong thing. So when you have all 3 of these pieces working together and you understand how all of these things dance together, it's like a recipe, right? Your cake, your casserole, your whatever it is that you're making is not going to be the same if you leave out one ingredient. It's going to be drastically different, right? It's going to be a whole other thing, especially if, 2 of the ingredients are not there. So I want you to think about your desires and what you're creating and what you choose for your life in the same way. There are some critical components that need to be in place. They don't need to be perfect. They don't need to be, 100% every day, all day. You don't need to spend hours and hours on them, but you have to understand how important these 3 pieces are and the roles that they play. And one of the things that I see very often is that people get so caught up in what's the right step. Is this the right thing to do? How do I know, right? And they're looking for validation and they're looking for permission and they're looking for answers that either don't exist or they're looking for answers outside of themselves. So my message to you today is to do something. And I want you to, the thing with all of these, right? All of these messages that I share with you, I'm basically giving you free advice. I'm giving you free coaching if you choose to take it. And I promise that if you binge watch all of my content, not even all of it, just a portion of it, and you take the action and you implement that into your life will change drastically. The challenge is that most people aren't disciplined enough to do that, to take the free stuff and do it, right? But I'm telling you, if you decide today, if you think of 1 or 2 areas of your life that you want to do something. I'll give you an example. I've had a couple of clients who were talking a little bit about their fitness routine, right? They wanted to get back at it. They were having a hard time with making a commitment and sticking to it in their own life, right? In their mind, again, part of this was mindset. They couldn't figure out how to make time and space to do the 30, 45 minute, 60 minute workout that they felt like they had to do. So that was getting them stuck. I don't have the time. Where am I going to fit it in? How am I going to do it? All these questions. And they didn't have the money, right? And so I gave the assignment to start, like, to go to YouTube, the beautiful YouTube, and look up like 5-minute workouts, 7-minute workout, 10-minute workouts. And I promise if you do that, there are 10-minute workouts, right? And for one client, I said, start with a 10-minute workout just today. Start with a 10-minute workout twice a week, this week, and just do that. Do something. And when I talked to her again, like 2 weeks later for our next call, she said, you're not going to believe this. Not only did I do the 2 10-minute things that you told me to do, but I added an extra day and I found another 10-minute workout to do on top of it. So the second week, I was working out 3 times a week and I was working out for 20 to 30 minutes. The same person that said she couldn't find the answer, the same person that was waiting for the right thing to begin, was the same person that made a choice to work out 3 times that week for much longer than what we had talked about. That is a simple example of what action can do. So my message, my reminder, my invitation for you today is to do something. What is something that you can easily say yes to? What is a conversation that you can have? What is a phone call that you can make, right? That has the potential to change your life, that has the potential to give you information and maybe inspiration for what it is that you need to do next. Do something. And I'm also going to add in here, do something different. Do something different from what you've usually done. And if you're not taking any action, then you're probably just in your head, so do something is enough. But if you've been doing the same thing, trying the same thing, and it's not working, do something different. One of my freebies that I have, and I'm actually redoing it, and it'll be available soon, but one of my freebies is 5 ways to break free from stuck, okay? And this is a quick audio that really walks you through how to, like, 5 ways that you can get unstuck from any area of your life. And one of the tips that I give, in fact, I think it's the first one, is to do something. Because so many of us get stuck in a place of inaction, and then we wonder why nothing changes. So I want you to make a commitment today to do something. What area of your life do you want to see change in the next 3 months? If you want to change your financial output or outlook, if you have, debt that you want to pay off and you want to figure all that out, sit down and write out all the debt. Look at it. Or sign up for mint.com, right? There's an app that you can put all of your information in one place. Do something. I promise when you do, multiple things happen, right? Life gets to meet you and bring you more opportunities. You feel more inspired because now you're taking action. You have created and cultivated a momentum and energy that you didn't have before, because momentum isn't built when you're just sitting and not doing anything, okay? And I don't mean you're not doing anything, but if you're just thinking about it, it makes a huge difference. It's a huge shift from thinking about it to actually taking some action, okay? So I'm gonna actually challenge you, if you're watching this video, whether you're watching the replay, if you're watching it on YouTube, if you see this in my email newsletter, then I want you to send me a message or post a comment below, and I want you to tell me, what action are you taking today? What action are you taking in the next couple of days? What action have you decided that you're going to take in order to do something? Okay? And if one of those actions is to get more information about these 3 pillars that I've been talking about, then you can sign up for my email list, because I talk a lot about these with my VIP list. I'll invite you to join me, and I'll post a link there. Maybe you want to actually take a big leap, right? Remember, it doesn't have to be massive, but maybe you do want to take the big leap, and you want to explore what coaching can do for you, what working with someone one-on-one, and that's a huge leap, and that can change your life drastically in beautiful ways. So if that is something you're interested in, I'll include a link for us to have a quick free chat, and we can talk about that. But it doesn't have to be huge, okay? I want you to take whatever action you can take that has the potential to move you forward toward that thing. Even if you don't know if it's the right thing, even if you don't know it's gonna be a big deal, even if you don't know if it's gonna lead to, you know, everything that you want. That's not the idea. The idea is to simply do something, okay? So that is your assignment today. That is your message. I hope it's helpful. I'm gonna post some links below, the link to join my VIP list. You always have that opportunity to receive a free gift from me and also hear from me a couple times a week with some really good information about how you can change your life, as well as the link to sign up for a free consultation. If you are interested in what coaching can do for you, I'd love to chat with you. I'd love to have a conversation, see if we are a good fit, see if my program is a good fit for you, and if so, we can talk about what that looks like, okay? In the meantime, I want to know what action you're taking. Post it in the comments, send it my way, okay? Action creates clarity, and it also builds momentum. So I would love to hear what you plan on doing, how you plan on moving forward, and if there's anything I can do to support you, feel free to let me know that as well, okay? All right, friends, I hope you have a fabulous Thursday and a wonderful weekend, and I'll be back on Monday with a brand new Mindset Monday Live. All right, chat with you then. Bye.